Hello to all you Cancerians, welcome for your monthly horoscope for March 2019. Let's have a look at what's happening in March. There is happening a lot with a fellow water sign, which is Pisces. And you know what? That is fantastic for the Cancerians, and especially because it's happening in such a nice area of your chart, which is the 9th house. This is the most important that's happening in March. So for a lot of you Cancerians, this could be a very inspirational month for sure. So what is happening? First of all, there is a new moon happening in Pisces, which is the sun and the moon together with around the 6th of March. And together with that, in your 9th house of Pisces, together with that, Mercury also goes retrograde in the 9th house around that time. And then it goes direct again at the very end of the month, the last couple of days of March. Now, so a lot of energy in your 9th house. And although in general, so not for you, but in general, it is quite confusing energy. It is quite energy of reflection and introspection. Having this in the 9th house is not real, and having all that energy, that could be for other people quite difficult. For you, it's not that difficult. First of all, it flows very nicely with your Cancerian energy. And secondly, it's a very enjoyable house. So what could this mean? Now, the 9th house is a couple of things. First of all, it has to do with your opinion of life. It has to do with how you look upon life. What's your perspective? Is your perspective everything is bad, I don't trust anything? Or is your perspective, yeah, I have trust in life and, you know, I'm open for certain things, but etc., etc. It's about what you think about life. And it's deep embedded in all of us. And having so much energy there simply means that it's a perfect time for you to stand still around what you believe in life. What is your belief? Ask yourself that question. What is my belief in life? Do I believe that I'm grateful? Or do I believe I'm not grateful? All these kind of things are very, very interesting for you to, you know, be a bit the philosopher during the month of March. Be a bit the questioning what you believe in and what you're not believing in, and standing still a little bit. And you may be sure that around the first week of April, you're gonna have some changes, made some changes considering your perspective. So first of all, it could have been that, for instance, you know, belief, it could be a belief around anything, whether it is a belief that you're doing the right job, whether it is a belief that, for instance, acupuncture is nonsense. Maybe those beliefs are gonna end and going to reverse, because you're open for reviewing that. Maybe you are going towards an acupuncturist and saying, hey, I have to review this because I'm feeling better. And this is maybe not the best belief that I have. I'm going to readjust it. This is a simple example, but you know, the 9th house, although it is not seen as the most important house, it is actually one of the most important house that has an influence on all the other houses, because your belief determines everything. You know, is your glass half full? Is your glass half empty? All these questions are very, very important during such an important emphasis on your 9th house. So it's a month to philosophize. It's a month to introspect. It's a month to stand still about your life. And of course, other things might be going, you might be dealing with some really restructuring your important relationships with Pluto and Saturn there in your 7th house. That is at the background still working for you. But the 9th house has to do with your whole life. It has to do with your connection with the universe, you being part of it, and you trying to do your best to be as authentic as you can be, but also to be feeling connected with all that there is. That's such a good, it's a very mystical energy for Cancerians. And mostly Cancerians, they are mostly, I say, there are people who are quite trusting in the universe and trusting in life. So it can strengthen them for sure when they had a period of time that was quite difficult for them, whether it was relationships or work. It could be now a period of time that you are, it's a good time to stand still, actually, for all of us. I mean, it's a Mercury retrograde for sure. But asking yourself a couple of philosophical questions wouldn't do you any harm at all. In the meanwhile, there is lots of activity going on in your 11th house as well. So you have Mars there and also Uranus now going back into Taurus. And the 11th house is again the combination of your 11th house and your 9th house. The 11th house is about your goals. It's about what you want in life. It's about the future, what you're planning. So with Mars there, it means that you're very active in finding those questions and those goals. And it's a good time to go after those goals and to initiate them, to change them if you have to, but to initiate them for sure. It could also mean that you're going to be more active in groups, because that's also the 11th house, and active with friends as well. It could be very important that you're meeting a friend, maybe a male friend because it's Mars, and that friend is really inspirational for you and showing you something about freedom, because it's Uranus there. So you're going to attract for many, many years, when it comes to your friends, a bit of those independent personalities that are against the mainstream, because that's very Uranus-like, and you can learn a lot from them. Then Venus is in your 8th house, squaring up to that Mars. So be aware that that it could mean that there is something about values clashing with friends, or that could mean, Venus in the 8th is a bit of a secret position there. Not all of you, of course, but it could mean that maybe you're doing something in secret with a friend. Could be the case as well. But Venus won't stay there for long. I mean, it's just 1 month there, approximately, in your 8th house. So yes, but on another level, it could mean that you have more intimacy and more psychological support from a friend. But be aware that there is balance, basically, because Venus squares up to Mars in those 2 houses. So you will have to do a bit of effort there to have the balance there. Okay, but all in all, as I said, it's inspirational this month. If you didn't have inspiration for a long time, maybe you're doing something in the artistic world, or you have a job that you really need to be very creative, this is a fantastic month for you. Having said that, dear Cancerians, I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to get a reading, just get in touch. Bye-bye.